From Griselda Blanco's fearsome reign as the Black Widow to Maria Licciardi's strategic control over the Camorra, women have shattered stereotypes and seized power in brutal environments. Join us as we explore how they navigated the dangerous intersections of crime, power, and gender, leaving indelible marks on the drug trade. These stories of the notorious women in the narco world offer a compelling look into the complexities and dark allure of the narco world, where ambition knows no gender. Griselda Blanco, La Madrina. Every wildfire started from just a spark of light. Let's meet Griselda Blanco, also known as the Black Widow, or Godmother of Cocaine. Blanco was a pioneering drug lord who played a key role in the Miami cocaine trade in the 1970s and 1980s. Born on February 15, 1943 in Cartagena, Colombia, Blanco's childhood was marked by violence, power, and a ruthless ambition that helped her rise to the top of the drug world. Her early life was troubled. She grew up in poverty and became involved in crime at a young age. At just 11 years old, she allegedly kidnapped a bog, attempted to claim ransom, and ultimately shot the child from an upscale neighborhood near her home. As if that wasn't enough, Blanco became a pickpocket before she was a teenager. To escape the sexual abuse of her mother's boyfriend, she ran away from home at the age of 19, resorting to stealing for survival in the city center until the age of 20. By her early 20s, she had moved to the United States, where she quickly got involved in drug trafficking. Blanco's operations were characterized by their brutal efficiency. She is credited with helping to establish the cocaine trade between Colombia and the United States, which turned Miami into a major hub for drug smuggling. Blanco was known for her ruthless methods and was allegedly responsible for hundreds of murders, including rival drug traffickers, law enforcement officials, and even former associates. Her willingness to use extreme violence earned her the nickname Black Widow. One of her most notorious methods was the use of motorcycle assassins, who would execute drive-by shootings on her orders. In addition to her violent tactics, Blanco was also a shrewd businesswoman. She pioneered many of the smuggling techniques that allowed large quantities of cocaine to be transported into the United States. Her empire was incredibly profitable, making her one of the richest and most powerful drug lords of her time. At the height of her power, Blanco's operations were bringing in millions of dollars a week. However, Blanco's violent reign eventually caught up with her. In the mid-1980s, she was arrested by U.S. authorities and sentenced to 20 years in prison for drug trafficking and other crimes. Even while incarcerated, she continued to run her drug empire. Her influence and operations were so extensive that law enforcement officials believed she still posed a significant threat from behind bars. Blanco was released from prison in 2004 and deported to Colombia. Despite her past, she maintained a relatively low profile in her later years. But on September 3, 2012, she was shot and killed in Medellin, Colombia, in a manner similar to her own methods, by motorcycle gunmen. Her death marked the end of a violent chapter in the history of the cocaine trade. Sandra Ávila Beltrán, La Reina del Pacífico. The Queen of the Pacific ruled the waves of the illicit drug trade with an iron fist. Griselda Blanco, a key Sinaloa cartel figure, forged a cocaine empire through ruthless connections and control over Pacific smuggling routes. Sandra Ávila Beltrán, widely known as La Reina del Pacífico, or the Queen of the Pacific, is a notable figure in the world of drug trafficking. Born on October 16, 1960 in Baja California, Mexico, she grew up in a family deeply involved in the drug trade. Her uncle was Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo, a major player in the Guadalajara cartel, often considered the godfather of Mexican drug trafficking. Ávila Beltrán's entry into the narco world was almost predestined given her family's connections. She married twice, both times to high-ranking members of drug cartels. Both husbands were eventually killed in drug-related violence, further entrenching her in the world of organized crime. As time went by, Sandra Ávila Beltrán became a significant figure in the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most powerful drug trafficking organizations in the world. Her nickname, La Reina del Pacífico, stems from her control over cocaine trafficking routes along the Pacific coast of Mexico. Her rise to prominence was characterized by a blend of cunning business acumen and a formidable presence. Avila Beltran was also known for her ability to negotiate and maintain alliances with Colombian drug lords, which helped solidify her position in the cartel hierarchy. Despite the male-dominated nature of the drug trade, she managed to carve out a significant role for herself, commanding respect and fear alike. In 2007, Avila Beltran was arrested in Mexico City. The authorities accused her of money laundering and drug trafficking. Her arrest drew significant media attention, not only because of her high-profile status, but also due to her notorious reputation as a glamorous yet ruthless drug lord. During her trial, she maintained a defiant stance, consistently denying her involvement in drug trafficking. In 2012, she was extradited to the United States, where she faced charges of drug trafficking. But in a surprising turn of events, Avila Beltran was sentenced to a relatively short prison term in the U.S., largely due to a lack of concrete evidence linking her directly to the drug shipments. She was later deported back to Mexico after serving part of her sentence in the United States. Sandra Avila Beltran's life and career have been the subject of various media portrayals, including books and television series. Her story highlights the complex and often paradoxical nature of the narco world, where loyalty, violence, and business acumen intertwine. Her influence on the drug trade, especially her role in establishing vital trafficking routes, has left a lasting impact. Despite her attempts to maintain a low profile after her release, she remains a symbol of the power and reach of women in the narco world. Claudia Ooa Felix, Emperatriz de los Antrax. Felix, the alleged leader of Los Antrax, the Sinaloa cartel's feared enforcement arm, lived a life of glamour and darkness. Her ruthless reputation and opulent lifestyle captured public attention before her death in 2019. Claudia Ooa Felix, often referred to as La Emperatriz de los Antrax, the Empress of Los Antrax, was a high-profile figure associated with the Sinaloa Cartel, one of Mexico's most powerful drug trafficking organizations. Born in 1987 in Culiacan, Sinaloa, she gained notoriety not only for her alleged involvement in the cartel, but also for her glamorous lifestyle and prominent social media presence. She was widely known for her connections with Los Antrax, an armed enforcement wing of the Sinaloa cartel. This group was responsible for carrying out assassinations, protecting cartel leaders, and engaging in violent confrontations with rival cartels and law enforcement. The group was founded by José Rodrigo Arechiga Gamboa, known as El Chino Antrax, who was a significant figure within the Sinaloa cartel. Her alleged involvement with Los Antrax brought her considerable attention. Known for her striking appearance and lavish lifestyle, Ooa Felix frequently posted photos on social media showcasing her wealth, designer clothes, and luxury cars. These posts often included images of firearms, further fueling rumors about her deep involvement in the cartel's violent activities. Ooa Felix's nickname, La Emperatriz de los Antrax, stems from her reputed leadership role within the group following the arrest of El Chino Antrax in 2013. Although she publicly denied any involvement in criminal activities, her social media posts and the surrounding rumors kept her in the spotlight. Her online persona combined the allure of a high-society lifestyle with the dangerous mystique of a narco queen. Despite the glamorous image, the life of Ooa Felix was marked by danger and violence, which are typical in the narco world. Her connections to the Sinaloa cartel meant she was constantly under threat from rival cartels and law enforcement. Although Claudia Ooa Felix was never formally charged with any major crimes, her association with the cartel made her a person of interest to law enforcement. Despite the speculation and media coverage, concrete evidence directly linking her to criminal activities was scarce. This lack of direct evidence meant that while she remained a high-profile figure, she largely avoided legal repercussions during her life. On the fateful day of September 14, 2019, Claudia Ooa Felix was found dead in a residence in Culiacan, Sinaloa. Initial reports suggested that her death was due to a drug overdose, though some speculated it could have been a targeted killing. The exact circumstances of her death remain unclear, and it added another layer of mystery to her already enigmatic life. Anaden Arano Felix. As part of the notorious Arano Felix family, Anaden Arano Felix played a major role in the rise of the Tijuana cartel. Unlike her 6 brothers Benjamin, Carlos, Eduardo, Francisco Javier, Francisco Rafael, and Ramon, she was known for using business acumen to manage and expand the cartel's operations. In 1977, when she was 16, Anaden reportedly harbored a dream of becoming the Mazatlan Carnival Queen, but abandoned it after her 2 brothers, Ramon and Benjamin, were declared wanted by the United States and the Mexican government. But soon that would change, because she became a significant figure in the world of drug trafficking, known for her role in the Tijuana Cartel, one of Mexico's most powerful and violent drug cartels. Her story began on April 12, 1961, in Mazatlan, Sinaloa. Young Anaden was born into the infamous Arano Felix family, which has been at the center of the cartel's operations for decades. Anaden Arano Felix grew up in a family deeply entrenched in the drug trade. The Tijuana Cartel, also known as the Arano Felix organization, was founded by her brothers, and it quickly became one of the most prominent cartels in Mexico during the late 1980s and 1990s. The cartel was known for its brutal tactics and its fierce battles with rival cartels and law enforcement. As mentioned earlier, unlike her brothers, who were known for their violent and confrontational approach, Anaden took a different path. She studied accounting and used her education to manage the financial aspects of the cartel's operations. Her business acumen and strategic thinking helped her rise within the organization, and she played a crucial role in laundering money and overseeing the cartel's financial transactions. After the arrest and deaths of several of her brothers, Anaden assumed a more prominent leadership role in the cartel. She is often credited with shifting the cartel's strategy from one of brute force to a more sophisticated, business-oriented approach. Under her guidance, the Tijuana cartel focused on diversifying its operations, expanding into other criminal enterprises such as kidnapping, extortion, and trafficking of different narcotics. Anaden's leadership style is marked by her ability to maintain alliances and manage the cartel's extensive network. She has been described as pragmatic and low-profile, avoiding the flamboyant displays of wealth and power that characterized many of her male counterparts. This approach has allowed her to navigate the dangerous and volatile world of drug trafficking with a degree of discretion and efficiency. Anaden Arano Felix's influence extends beyond her role in the Tijuana cartel. She represents a shift in the narco world, where women have increasingly taken on significant leadership roles. Her ability to manage complex financial operations and strategic decisions has earned her a reputation as one of the most powerful women in the drug trade. Despite her low-profile approach, law enforcement agencies have taken note of her activities. Anaden has been on the radar of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and other international agencies, which have targeted the financial networks she oversees. However, capturing and prosecuting her has proven difficult due to her careful and calculated methods. As of now, Anaden Arano Felix remains a key figure in the Tijuana cartel. Her current whereabouts and activities are not widely known, and the Tijuana cartel continues to operate, although it faces competition from other powerful cartels in the region. Judy Mona. Though not as widely known as some others, Mona was a significant player in the Medellin cartel. After the murder of her husband, a key cartel member, she became involved in the drug trade and later cooperated with authorities. Judy Mona is a somewhat lesser-known figure in the narco world compared to some of her contemporaries, but her involvement with the Medellin cartel and her subsequent cooperation with authorities make her story notable. She became a key player in the tumultuous world of Colombian drug trafficking during the peak of the Medellin cartel's power. Judy Mona, originally named Marta Lucia Echeverry, became involved in the drug trade through her marriage to a prominent cartel member. Her husband, Jaime Ernesto Don Chepe Rivera, was deeply entrenched in the operations of the Medellin cartel, led by the infamous Pablo Escobar. The Medellin cartel was known for its violent tactics and dominance in the global cocaine trade during the 1980s and early 1990s. Moncada's life took a dramatic turn when her husband was murdered, an act allegedly ordered by Escobar himself. This event propelled her into a more active role in the cartel's operations. Driven by a desire for revenge and survival, Moncada became heavily involved in the business, handling various aspects of drug trafficking and money laundering. Moncada was known for her strategic thinking and ability to manage operations effectively. Her involvement extended beyond logistical and financial management to more direct participation in the cartel's activities. She utilized her business acumen to streamline operations and maximize profits, gaining respect and fear within the organization. The turning point in Judy Mona's story came when she decided to turn against Pablo Escobar. Fed up with his increasing violence and erratic behavior, and driven by a personal vendetta for her husband's murder, Moncada allied herself with the enemies of Escobar. She joined forces with the Cali Cartel and Los Pepes, people persecuted by Pablo Escobar, a vigilante group composed of rival cartel members, former associates, and victims of Escobar's reign of terror. Moncada's knowledge of the Medellin cartel's inner workings proved invaluable to these groups. She provided crucial intelligence that helped undermine Escobar's operations, contributing to the efforts that eventually led to his downfall in 1993. Her cooperation with Los Pepes and other entities marked a significant shift in the power dynamics of the Colombian drug trade. Maria Licciardi, La Piccolina. Licciardi, a prominent Camorra boss, led the Licciardi clan and forged the influential Secondigliano alliance, solidifying her power in the Italian underworld. Maria Licciardi, also known as La Piccolina, or the Little One, is a significant figure in the Italian mafia world, specifically within the Camorra, a powerful criminal organization based in Naples. Born on March 24, 1951, in Naples, Italy, Licciardi rose to prominence in a male-dominated world through her cunning, strategic mind, and leadership abilities. Maria Licciardi was born into a family deeply entrenched in organized crime. Her brothers were influential members of the Camorra, and she grew up surrounded by the operations of the criminal underworld. This environment set the stage for her eventual involvement in the family business. Despite the traditional roles women played in Italian mafia families, Licciardi broke the mold by taking on an active and leading role. Licciardi's ascent within the Camorra began in earnest following the deaths and arrests of key male family members. In the 1990s, after her brother Gennaro Licciardi, the head of the Licciardi clan, died in prison, Maria took over the leadership. Her rise to power marked a significant shift in the dynamics of the Camorra, as she became one of the few women to lead a major criminal organization. Under her leadership, the Licciardi clan expanded its operations and influence. Maria Licciardi was known for her intelligence and strategic thinking, and she played a crucial role in forming the Secondigliano Alliance, a coalition of Camorra clans that worked together to dominate the criminal landscape in Naples and beyond. This alliance helped reduce internal conflicts and allowed the Camorra to operate more efficiently and profitably. She also oversaw a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, money laundering, and prostitution. One of her significant contributions to the Camorra's operations was professionalizing and expanding the drug trade. She established strong connections with South American drug cartels, ensuring a steady supply of narcotics to Italy. Her ability to manage and streamline operations made the Licciardi clan one of the most powerful and wealthiest groups within the Camorra. Licciardi was also known for her ability to maintain order and discipline within the organization. She implemented strict rules and was not afraid to use violence when necessary to enforce them. Her leadership style earned her respect and fear among her peers and subordinates. Despite her ability to evade law enforcement for many years, Maria Licciardi was eventually arrested in 2001 and charged with various crimes, including drug trafficking, extortion, and mafia association. Her arrest was a significant blow to the Camorra, but it did not completely dismantle her influence. Even from prison, Licciardi was believed to maintain some control over the clan's operations. Adriana Mesa Torres. This female narco is brutally taking over El Chapo's cartel. Her name is Adriana Mesa Torres, and she has become a significant figure in the world of drug cartels, particularly within the Sinaloa cartel, after the arrest of her husband, Ovidio Guzman, in January 2023. Ovidio Guzman, known as El Raton, who is one of the sons of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, Adriana Mesa Torres' rise to prominence. Her rise to prominence was attributed to her familial connections and the violent circumstances surrounding her husband's arrest. But that's not all. Adriana was actually born into a family with strong cartel ties. Her father, Raul Mesa Ontiveros, was a high-ranking member of the Sinaloa cartel before being killed in 2007. Adriana's brother, known as El Mini Leak, also held a significant position within the cartel, but was murdered in 2021. These events left a power vacuum that Adriana stepped into, leveraging her connections and family's legacy to consolidate power. Following Ovidio Guzman's arrest, which was a significant blow to the Los Chapitos faction of the Sinaloa cartel, Adriana reportedly took over leadership. Her takeover was marked by strategic moves to maintain and expand the cartel's influence. This included solidifying alliances and asserting control over various operations previously overseen by her husband and other family members. The arrest of Ovidio Guzman was particularly violent, leading to intense firefights and blockades throughout Culiacan, as cartel members attempted to rescue him. The operation resulted in the deaths of 29 people, including both cartel members and military personnel. Adriana Mesa Torres' own involvement in the cartel's operations remains shrouded in mystery and speculation. Reports suggest that she has been involved in the family's drug trafficking business, leveraging her connections and the established networks of the Sinaloa cartel. But concrete details about her specific roles and activities are scarce, largely due to the secretive nature of the cartel's operations and the limited information that has been publicly released. Subscribers pick. The image appears to be a collage related to women involved in the narco world, particularly in relation to El Chapo's cartel. First, we have Claudia Ooa Felix in the center. She is often referred to as the Empress of Antrax. This female narco is brutally taking over El Chapo's cartel. She was allegedly connected to the Sinaloa cartel's enforcement arm, Los Antrax. She was known for her glamorous social media presence, showcasing a lifestyle of luxury and power. We also have La Catrina at the right. Her real name was Maria Guadalupe Lopez Esquivel. She gained notoriety for her role in the Jalisco New Generation cartel. She was a leader within the cartel and was involved in various violent activities before her death in a shootout in 2020. The other woman beside a man is Adriana Mesa Torres, the wife of Ovidio Guzman, whose husband is El Chapo's son. These women have pushed boundaries and became kingpins. Tell us, what do you think about this image? Do you know who they are? Rafaela Dalterio, Amiciona. As the leader of the Pianese Dalterio clan in the Camorra, she took over this position after the murder of her husband. Dalterio managed drug trafficking and extortion operations. Rafaela Dalterio, known by her nickname Amiciona, the big female kitten, is a prominent figure in the Italian mafia, specifically within the Neapolitan Camorra. Born in the 1960s in Naples, Dalterio rose to power through a combination of strategic acumen and ruthless efficiency, also becoming one of the few women to lead a major criminal organization in Italy. Rafaela Dalterio's journey into the world of organized crime began through her marriage to Nicola Pianese, a powerful member of a Camorra faction known as Pianese Dalterio clan. The clan operated primarily in the region of Naples, engaging in various illegal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and money laundering. Her husband's assassination in 2006, which was part of an internal power struggle within the Camorra, marked a significant turning point in Dalterio's life. Rather than stepping back, she assumed control of the clan. This move was highly unusual in the male-dominated world of the mafia, but Dalterio's leadership skills and determination helped her gain respect and loyalty from the clan's members. Under Rafaela Dalterio's leadership, the Pianese Dalterio clan expanded its operations and influence. She was known for her strategic mind and ability to maintain order and discipline within the organization. Dalterio diversified the clan's criminal activities, ensuring steady revenue streams and a robust power base. Her reign was marked by a blend of traditional mafia operations and modern criminal enterprises. The clan continued to engage in drug trafficking, extortion, and money laundering. Additionally, they were involved in other illegal activities such as counterfeit goods and illegal gambling. Dalterio's ability to manage these diverse operations effectively solidified her position as a formidable mafia boss. Dalterio's prominence inevitably drew the attention of Italian law enforcement. She was arrested in 2012 during a major crackdown on the Camorra. The operation, which involved hundreds of police officers, led to the seizure of significant assets and the arrest of numerous clan members. Dalterio faced charges of mafia association, drug trafficking, and other criminal activities. Despite her arrest, Delterio's influence within the clan and the broader Camorra network remained significant. Her ability to rise to power and maintain control in a dangerous and competitive environment is a testament to her leadership qualities and strategic thinking. Maria Moreno Carreon. This calm-looking lady is a notable figure in the Mexican drug trade, often associated with the notorious Zetas cartel. Moreno Carreon's story is one of influence, danger, and the harsh realities of the drug trade. The Zetas cartel, originally formed by former elite soldiers from the Mexican army, became one of the most feared and violent criminal organizations in Mexico. They are known for their brutal tactics, including beheadings and mass killings, to instill fear and maintain control over their territories. Maria Moreno Carreon, hailing from a region with a strong cartel presence, became involved with the Zetas through her connections and personal relationships within the cartel. Her rise within the organization highlights the evolving role of women in the drug trade, where they are no longer confined to peripheral roles, but can hold significant power and responsibility. Moreno Carreon's exact role within the Zetas is not extensively documented in public records, reflecting both the secretive nature of the cartel and the tendency for female involvement to be less publicized. However, it is known that women in the Zetas and other cartels often take on critical roles such as managing logistics, laundering money, and even overseeing drug production and distribution networks. In many cases, women like Moreno Carreon act as key intermediaries, facilitating communication and coordination among different factions within the cartel. Their ability to navigate the complex social and operational dynamics of the drug trade makes them invaluable to the organization. The Zetas cartel has been a primary target for Mexican and international law enforcement agencies due to its extreme violence and extensive criminal activities. Efforts to dismantle the cartel have led to numerous arrests and confrontations over the years. Maria Moreno Carreon, like many others in her position, became a target for these operations. The exact details of her capture and legal proceedings are less publicized, but her involvement with a high-profile cartel such as the Zetas would have inevitably drawn significant law enforcement attention. Maria Licciardi, Queen of the South. When you hear the name Queen of the South, who comes to your mind? Well, this is the story of the notorious Maria Licciardi. She is a Guatemalan drug trafficker known for her significant role in the international narcotics trade. Maria Licciardi entered the drug trafficking world by establishing connections with major cartels in Mexico and Colombia. Her network was expansive, allowing her to become one of the most influential figures in the trafficking routes from Central America to the United States. Licciardi was known for her strategic thinking, business acumen, and ability to navigate the male-dominated world of drug trafficking effectively. Her operations involved not only the transportation of large quantities of cocaine, but also extensive money laundering activities. She reportedly laundered millions of dollars through various legitimate businesses, making her one of the key players in the narcotics trade in the region. Licciardi's criminal empire was built on her ability to coordinate the movement of cocaine from South America through Central America and into Mexico, from where it would then be distributed to the United States. Her connections with the Mexican cartels, particularly the Sinaloa cartel, facilitated these operations, ensuring a steady flow of narcotics across borders. In addition to drug trafficking, Licciardi was heavily involved in money laundering. She used a variety of businesses, including retail stores and real estate ventures, to launder drug money. Her financial operations were sophisticated and extensive, involving numerous shell companies and financial instruments to obscure the origins of the illicit funds. Maria Licciardi's prominence eventually drew the attention of international law enforcement agencies. In 2012, she was named by the United States Department of the Treasury as one of the most significant drug traffickers in Central America, and her assets were targeted under the Foreign Narcotics Kingpin Designation Act. In 2014, Licciardi surrendered to U.S. authorities and was subsequently arrested. She faced charges related to drug trafficking and money laundering. Her cooperation with law enforcement, including providing information on her network and associates, led to a relatively light sentence. In 2015, she was sentenced to 12 years in prison, a term that was considered lenient given the scale of her operations. Angie Valencia. A former beauty queen turned drug trafficker, Valencia organized a cocaine smuggling ring that used models to transport drugs to Europe. Angie San Clemente Valencia, also known as Angie San Clemente, is a Colombian former beauty queen turned drug trafficker. Born on May 25, 1979, in Barranquilla, Colombia. Her story is a remarkable tale of a fall from grace, highlighting the allure and dangers of the narcotics trade. San Clemente Valencia's involvement in drug trafficking and her eventual arrest captured significant media attention, making her one of the most infamous women in the narco world. Angie San Clemente Valencia started her career as a model and quickly gained fame in the beauty pageant circuit. In 2000, she was crowned as the Coffee Queen in Colombia, a title that brought her considerable public recognition. However, her career took a drastic turn when she became romantically involved with a Mexican drug lord known as the Monster. After her relationship with the Monster ended, San Clemente Valencia reportedly decided to establish her own drug trafficking network. Using her modeling connections, she recruited young, attractive women, many of whom were aspiring models, to serve as drug mules. These women were tasked with smuggling cocaine from Argentina to Europe, exploiting their appearance and the lessened suspicion they would attract to evade law enforcement. San Clemente Valencia's network was highly organized and sophisticated. She used her charm and intelligence to orchestrate the operations, ensuring that the couriers were well-trained and that the drugs were carefully concealed. Her involvement in the narcotics trade demonstrated a keen understanding of the logistics and risks involved in international drug smuggling. In December 2009, Argentinian authorities intercepted a drug mule at Ezeiza International Airport in Buenos Aires, carrying 55 kilograms of cocaine. This arrest led to a broader investigation that eventually pointed to Angie San Clemente Valencia as the leader of the smuggling ring. Realizing she was under investigation, San Clemente Valencia went into hiding. For several months, she managed to evade capture, but the net was closing in. In May 2010, Argentinian police arrested her in Buenos Aires, ending her brief but notorious career in drug trafficking. Her arrest garnered significant media attention, partly due to her previous fame as a beauty queen and the glamorous lifestyle she led. Following her arrest, San Clemente Valencia was charged with drug trafficking and leading a criminal organization. In 2011, she was sentenced to 6 years and 8 months in prison. During her trial, she maintained her innocence, claiming she was set up and that she was merely a model trying to help other young women. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.